Hey everybody, it's Book of Katherine, and we are back again for Thanksgiving Insider Movies Season 2, Episode 3, Capsule number 3. And let's get on because it's Thanksgiving weekend, and I didn't know it came early this year, so I had planned this for the end of the month, but we are going to do it now. These are the movies, and you are going to be shocked by them. I cannot believe it. You're going to be so shocked by them. But I love these movies, and now that I see it's going to be organized this way, I'm just like, this is kind of perfect. I like this order better, so I'm very, very excited about it. But I have physical therapy coming up very shortly, and I filmed a lot today, so I need to get going on this. All right, here we go. So, week 3, capsule number 3. We are going to start with, I'm actually not going to do this in alphabetical order because I haven't actually organized it yet. I'm just going to do it in the order I wrote it, just the way it's going to go. So, number 1, comedy that I love. I have a big history with this movie, and that is Swingers. And you have to see this. And I already know he's going to gloat. The director of this is going to gloat. I'm sorry, not the director, the writer of this. The writer of this is Jon Favreau. And we already had Jon Favreau with Iron Man right here in capsule number 1. So he is going to be very, very excited about that. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just, I'm just saying. So, but it's season 2, so whatever. But I still loved, this is how I met Jon Favreau. Actually, it's how Hollywood met Jon Favreau. So, but Swingers is also how Hollywood met Vince Vaughn. So if you don't know who Vince Vaughn is, you need to know who Vince Vaughn is. Actually, you need to know who both of these people are. So if you don't remember Jon Favreau, he is the one who did Dinner for Five, the series that I introduced to you on week 1. So if you didn't see Dinner for Five, I will link that right here. That's the series that I told you about. So that I said if you're ever going to learn anything about Hollywood, because all those movies, the THR roundtables, like, those are actors just... Okay, so, anyway, having fun. Okay, so Dinner for Five is as close as you're going to ever get, as close as you're ever going to get. And what I really like about it is that it goes deeper, like it goes back. You're going to see more than just actors. You're going to see a lot of writers, directors, and you're going to hear a lot more about Hollywood that exists than just the big budget films. Look at my cats. They're just running around. Oh, can't believe it. So actually I should move this. Hold on. So, so Vince Vaughn came out in Swingers. So this was big because it had Vince Vaughn in it. And if you don't know Vince Vaughn, you should know him. He's absolutely huge. And Jon Favreau, you knew him in Friends. He was the guy that dated Monica and went to the ring, for the younger generation who don't know Jon Favreau. Or he was the chauffeur in Iron Man, but he was the director of Iron Man. So anyway, those you really need to know. So Swingers was huge. It introduced Big Bad Voodoo Daddy to the world. They didn't know who big. It actually rocketed them into stardom. It made swing a really, really big deal. It rebirthed swing and actually kind of rebirthed the whole country. Western had started into the dancing thing, and then Swingers made swing, like East Coast swing, a huge deal and kind of launched. If it weren't for Swingers, I don't think Dancing with the Stars would have come back, because they kept trying to push Dancing with the Stars. It was a thing in England. I know a lot about the dance community. That show had been tried to push for like 15 years in Hollywood, and Hollywood would not do it. There's actually like a lawsuit that happened in Hollywood because they stole the idea, the whole thing, and the whole 9 yards. Who stole it from who, blah, 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 blah. I know all those people. So anyway, oh, shouldn't have said that. Dang it. Anyway, so it happened, and Dancing with the Stars eventually happened, but it wouldn't have happened if it weren't for Swingers. Let's just be straight up and honest about that. So Swingers is the thing that kind of skyrocketed, and it is an amazing film, and money, made so money, baby. It's just hysterical. So excellent, and Jon Favreau wrote it, and it put him on the scene, and boy did he climb that ladder afterwards. You guys should really see it, and you'll see him. He did that in 96, and by 2001 he was doing Dinner for Five, and then he did Iron Man. Like you can see the kind of where he did, and then I can't tell you that stuff. Anyway, so just you should follow his career if you can, or get to know him if you can, and talk to him or ask around Hollywood. For those of you who are trying to make their way into Hollywood and make inroads, he's one of the people, I would say, for newer generations. Remember how I said no one's really coming up the ladder? I'd say he's one of the last people to really come up the ladder, who's not just a kid where a father just gave him a job. He's one of the few people that actually worked up the ladder, I would say, in the ways that you're supposed to kind of do it, if you know what I mean. I don't know if that makes sense. So Here we go. Here comes the one that you're going to be shot. Well, maybe I'll save that to the end. So, now we have Willy Wonka. So that's a comedy. That's not for kids. Not for kids. So, now they go to Vegas. It's this whole from LA to Vegas. It was a big LA film. And you might not know, it's totally independent film, but it was in the Hollywood scene. And it actually used the Derby. So, and that thing opens and closes everything, but the Brown Derby is a big deal in Hollywood, a big, big deal. If you can ever go by it, I don't know if it's still open. I can't believe how many closing nights I went to that place. And they really should take care of it. The Brown Derby is a big, big deal in Hollywood. So, the history anyway. So, and it actually featured the Derby, and that's part of the reason it did so well. And, yeah, and Big Bad Voodoo Daddy still travels. They're still come to towns. They still go to towns all over America. Definitely a show you want to see. So they were the original big swing band that made swing come back. So, all right. So then we have Willy Wonka. So Willy Wonka is, now I'm talking about the original, not the Johnny Depp one, which was totally creepy and scary, but it shows you how Hollywood changed so much. It kind of, went into dark things. It went into Freudian things, which, by the way, a lot of things about Freud have been totally disproven. I learned that in Sheep's Clothing, and the interviews that the guy did when a few years ago. Now he's totally lost it. It's very interesting. I don't know what's going on at the end of the day, but the older stuff, he did some amazing interviews, and the research is incredible about what has been disproven with Freud. A lot of the stuff that Freud did has been totally disproven, and the society that Freud taught and did his research in is complete opposite of it is today. Back then, people were so uptight. They were scared. Like, one woman went blind just because she looked at a guy and wanted to kiss him. She thought, boy, wouldn't it be nice to kiss him? And she was like, her mentality was like, I'd rather go blind than have that thought again. It would be better to be blind than have that thought again. That is how uptight they were. Now we're totally permissive. But also a lot of their stuff about breastfeeding and stuff has been totally disproven. And yet we still use a lot of his things to actually do our psychology. That's why a lot of psychologists and their stuff don't work. That's why I say be very, very careful about how you choose for your psychologist. Just doesn't work. Totally doesn't work. And it scares me how much like Dr. Phil still uses it. Oh, my dad's. Here we go. I said, maybe it's because I'm talking about Freud. Freudian slip. I said my dad's here. It's my husband. Oh, maybe because I call him Daddy with the cats. Oh, maybe it's just that simple. I don't know. Oh, boy. Well, you guys are going to have fun discussing that, because I can't edit, so that's going to be staying in there. Anyway, Willy Wonka, the original one. All right, so the original one that was first made, and I highly recommend the book. In fact, I highly recommend all of Roald Dahl books. They are amazing kids' books. They're amazing to read. They're great for kids' imaginations. Totally go for it. It's a great comedy. Willy Wonka is absolutely hysterical, and he's here, so I'm going to have to go. I love you guys so much. I'll be right back. All right, I have time to finish. So that is Willy Wonka. Absolutely amazing. You guys will love it. That's the one I have for kids. So then we have Jumpin' Jack Flash. Oh my God. And this one has Whoopi Goldberg in it. And I don't care what you think about Whoopi. And I say this all the time. Who cares about their politics? Half of the celebrities out there that talk about their politics, half of it's AstroTurf anyway. They're totally paid to say it. So I always say, don't believe what you hear, what celebrities say, blah, blah, blah. The person that you see on camera is almost never who you're going to, in fact, I would say never who you meet sometimes who you meet behind the scenes. Like, just don't, you can't. So I always say, take their work and keep it separate. Like, enjoy their work, enjoy their movies, enjoy the art separately. If you hate the art, that's fine, right? So Whoopi, and then the person who they are. Now, what they do on camera, you can criticize that, like The View and things like that, like very contradictory on The View, like very contradictory on The View. On if it's a Democrat, she'll say one thing. If it's a Republican, she'll absolutely flip. She'll change the logic depending on which political party. So, all right, that's the side. But Jumpin' Jack Flash, genius comedy, you gotta know it. It's a 80s movie, but I mean, I know that's before Identity Politics came out. But we didn't care. We didn't see color back then. We just didn't see color. It did extremely well in the box office. It's absolutely hysterical, not for kids. language and the whole thing, but she's a brilliant comedian. You'll see how hysterical that she is, and it's good for you to see comedies like that. It's kitschy and all those things, but it's absolutely hysterical. You'll love it. It's very different. So there's Jumpin' Jack Flash. Now we have North by Northwest. Oh my goodness. I think it's black and white. North by Northwest. Gotta know about, this is Alfred Hitchcock. This is one of the most famous Alfred Hitchcock films of all time. This is the one that goes on the train with the famous love scene, with the hands of the... And this is, when you see the hands in this love scene, that was huge. That scene was such a big love scene. They memed it. They just loved it. People just died over that love scene. Like when we were allowed to love each other on camera and just be like caressing and love each other. That scene just turned people on in the most amazing ways, kind of like Pride and Prejudice last year when they had scenes that turned them on when they just saw each other and all people got hot and bothered over just seeing each other. This one, everyone got hot and bothered back then over this hand scene on the train. So that got everyone, so you should be aware of that. But it also has Mount Rushmore in it, which is really, really big. Now, it makes you think Mount Rushmore is super big, but if you've ever been to Mount Rushmore, which I have, South Dakota is one of my favorite states. You know that from my GOP, Clean the GOP, all 50 states, when I talk about all 50 states. Clean the GOP, I'm sorry I'm talking so fast. You can always go down to YouTube and slow it down. Play it on a speed. Sometimes I watch my YouTube videos on faster speeds. Sometimes I watch them on slower, depending on the speed that I speak. So you can slow this down if you want, or you can speed it up and hear me like a chipmunk. Have fun. It's Thanksgiving. Have a party. All right, so you can go ahead and do whatever you want. So North by Northwest is on Mount Rushmore. If you've ever been to Mount Rushmore, it's actually very far away. And then when you see it, it's like this big, like I'm showing you up here. You can't see it. It's like big. You're like, what the heck? What the heck? George Washington is this big, but it's still really amazing. It's still absolutely incredible. And I got to meet the last surviving person who ever worked on Mount Rushmore. Not only that, but I got his signature when they don't do that anymore. My husband and I talked to him for so long, him and his wife for so long, that at the end, we actually got like a portrait and we got a signature. And they're like, we never do signatures. But because my husband and I sat there and talked with him for so long, we went and bought a pen. They didn't even have a pen to do signature. Anyway, I'm getting off of the thing. So anyway, it is just such an iconic movie. And there's all these famous scenes in it that you need to know. You might even know them when you see it. When you see it, you may be like, that's where this is from. That's where this is from. You've got to know that movie. You've got to know that movie. It's a big, big movie that you need to know. All right, let's keep on moving. So, North by, which one do I do? The last two. Okay, which one's more, okay. Godfather. I know my movie people have been waiting for Godfather, Mario. So, wait till you get the Godfather trilogy. And that's why I saved it for Thanksgiving weekend. The Godfather trilogy. The first Godfather is the most famous, and then it goes on from there. So that's how Al Pacino became famous. It's one of the most famous roles. There are so many pieces. So, oh no. So there's so many, just like, I think it's leave the gun, take the cannoli. Like, that wasn't even a planned line. There's just too many famous scenes to mention. The horsehead scene, all of these scenes. I can't even begin to describe how important this film trilogy is. It's perfect for Thanksgiving weekend. It's dramatic, it's intense, but you need to know the history. You need to know the history of The Godfather. It is referenced in every single school, and you've got to see it for yourself without some teacher over your, no. You need to see it for yourself on your own over Thanksgiving without a teacher in your ear telling you what to think. I swear, it'll look different to you when you do that, and try to pay attention. Try not to be on your phone when you're watching it. It's very, very different. It's absolutely a beautiful, beautiful film. All three of them. The third one isn't as good as the others, but it introduces you to actors that you need to know in the third one. Like some of the sexiest actors ever in the third one. You got to know them, all right? So, all right, here we go. Final one that's going to shock you. Final one that's going to shock you, and then I'm going to have to go to physical therapy. And I've given you a lot of videos this week, so you can watch them all and have fun. Maybe I'll do one last video when I get home on what I'm most thankful for this year. We will see. Is Peyton Place. Peyton Place. And let me tell you, Like Peyton Place, and if you guys are old enough, you know, hold on a minute. Peyton Place is like, so Peyton Place, no one like told me about Peyton Place. It is Peyton Place. Okay. It's this, how many hours is it, honey? Like it's 3. It's like, it's 3, it's extensive. It's this long film that came out in the 60s, like the early 60s. And I only saw it because this is when we were living in Palm Springs, and we were staying with some of the like Hollywood, deep water people in Hollywood. And actually, was it Christmas or Thanksgiving? One of those. And they pulled it out to watch it. And they're like, how do you not know Peyton Place? How can you not know Peyton Place? And we're like, we've never even heard, what the heck are you talking about? And they pull it out in its color. And we're just sitting there going, and we're like, what? And and the amount of shock that you're going to go through for everyone that thinks that your grandmothers and your grandfathers are like from this like little prissy, if you think that everything, we tend to paint like the generations that came from the 70s on, like we're the cool chic people who woke up and had this enlightenment, and we're the ones who dealt with the hard, deep issues, and we're the only ones who ever like got serious about psychology and started dealing with real family issues. Like we're the ones that got Dr. Phil on it. We're the ones that went into it. We're the ones that dealt with bad people. Like we got into it. We got into the family issues. It's us. Like we're bomb. We're bomb. Oh, no. Oh, no. You go ahead and watch Peyton Place. You go ahead and watch Peyton Place, and you find out that these people who fought in World War II, you know, you go ahead and watch it. And I saved it for Thanksgiving because now you have the time. And it turns out it's super, everyone in all the big Hollywood greats are just kind of like, oh my God. You know, they might be totally shocked that I know about Peyton Place. Either that or they're just kind of like, it's about freaking time. It's about having these for young kids. That's why, you know, I think it's funny when I see an old guy get up there and the young kids are like, boo, and they boo these, because you guys think they're so out of touch, you know, and they don't understand why they give you such a hard time. It's because you guys think they're so out of touch. They dealt with all these. I remember I saw an article in Entertainment Weekly, and this kid wrote this big play about dealing with these hard freaking issues and this whole thing about Generation X and these huge issues they deal with and all these like insane and incest and da-da-da-da-da. And he wrote this big play. And as he's standing at the door of like this big, huge theater in New York or something, or like big hall, famous hall, this 80-year-old lady comes out and she just pats him on the shoulder and she's like, oh, sounds like us when we were young. And he was just like, when you watch Peyton Place, you'll find out. And he was just so shocked because he was just like, what? We all think that they were like, you know, virgins back then. And they didn't deal with anything. And I don't know why we think that. I don't know why we think that they were labeled the greatest generation, but that they didn't know how to deal with Dr. Phil issues. You know what I mean? Like they didn't confront it head on. I just find that fascinating. And wait till you see, this movie is going to shock the heck out of you. And I really don't, we just sat there, and I got to be honest, like my husband and I, the whole movie, just the opening. And this was early 60s. We're talking Elvis Presley, Marilyn Monroe era people, just like All About Eve. Just because it's black and white doesn't mean that they had like, you know, their knees knotted to give me a break, you know? So this is a good wake-up call about like generational issues and what humanity and what civilization and what we really dealt with. It's just a good thing. And honestly, again, for those of you guys who are trying to climb your way up Hollywood, if you know Peyton Place, I just gave you gold. So donate down below. Happy Thanksgiving. I just gave you a massive, massive step up in Hollywood. OMG. Some people might actually be pissed that I just gave that to you because it's such a leg up. So I didn't think about that. Well, just think about it this way for those of you who are mad. How many of them will watch it? I think they will, but, you know, some might not. So just think of it that way. If they are boss enough to watch it, they deserve the credit. You just remember that. You just remember that. They deserve that freaking credit. So, you know, they're stronger than you think. We just don't tell them that. And they are. They're just as strong as you. It's just no one's ever given them trust to do that. And you just have to tell them they can. They can. They're able to do everything we're able to do. Absolutely. It's just no one gives them the opportunity. And I don't know why that is. We think that they were protecting them or something. That's not protecting them at all. That's putting them down. And you guys know it. You guys know how boss you are. You're just dying to get out there and show the world what you can do. Well, Peyton Place will help you do it. All right, so the donation link is down below. If you are thankful for my videos, go ahead and give a donation. It starts at $0, so you can give 25 cents you want or $25, whatever you guys want to do. It's up to you. Any amount I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for your love, and I'm thankful that I have you as a partner in my life. You guys make my life so amazing. You are the difference. You're the ones that make it so that when I get out of bed every day, you keep my mental state, like you make me look forward to my day. You make me look forward to my day. Instead of my day being about my pain every day, my day is about you and the community I share with you. And that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. It used to be that my friends would ask about my health, and now my friends ask, you know, how is the channel going? That is that's just you are phenomenal. Brilliant, brilliant people. I love you. I love you so much for making my life as beautiful as it now making this pain a thing of beauty. Thank you. You're amazing. All right. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, and have a wonderful, joyous time. And yeah, I'll see you around the bend. All right. Bye-bye now. And if you haven't seen my Black Friday video, you need to see my Black Friday video. Before you go shopping on Black Friday, I gave you some serious insider dirt on Black Friday. You cannot go Black Friday shopping unless you see my insider dirt on that, because I didn't know it. For all these years for Black Friday, I didn't know this stuff, and my insiders gave me some serious dirt on that. So you can go ahead and see it right here. I'll link it right here. You need to see that. I think it'll be right here. So go ahead and see my Black Friday dirt. Gotta see that video. That'll save you some major, major cash this weekend. And yeah, I love you so much. Have a great weekend, you guys. Bye. Where is it? Bye.